So I'd like to share with you a story. It's a Taoist teaching tale about forgiveness. And in all these tales, there is a sage and there is a disciple. And the sage has a beard. And it's a very long beard, because all sages have long beards. So this particular sage called his disciple unto him, and he gave him an empty sack and a basket of potatoes. And he said to him, I want you to carve the names of all the people you need to forgive, each name on a potato, and put the potatoes into the sack. And the sage, the disciple did it. And then the sage said, now, go out with your sack, carry it around wherever you go for the whole week, and then come back and we'll talk. So, off went the disciple. And at first it was easy because he'd done a lot of carrying of heavy loads for the master in his time. But as the week went by, the sack got heavier and heavier, even though he wasn't adding anything to it. And worse, with this heavy, heavy sack, it began to stink because all the potatoes began to fester and rot. And as the potatoes festered and rot, so he began to stink too. At the end of the week, he came back to the sage. And the sage looked at him and said, so, stroking the long beard, so, how did you get on? Well, master, it was very difficult. But I have learnt that it's really important that we forgive, because we are holding on to these festering hates and harms, and it's smelly and it's heavy. Very good, said the sage. And how do we lighten the load? Well, said the student, I have thought about this, master, and I have realized that I am going to forgive all of them. Congratulations, said the sage, with a wry smile. He said, you've forgiven all of them? Yes. So he invited the disciple to take all the potatoes out of the bag, out of the sack. And when he'd done it, there was the disciple, looking excited and optimistic. So, said the sage, while you were carrying that stinking sack, was there anybody who hurt or offended you who you haven't yet forgiven? The disciple thought for a moment, and then he started to panic because he could see what was coming. And he said, Master, he said, but if we go on like this, if we continue like this, every time people hurt us, we will always have smelling potatoes in the sack. Yes, said the sage. For as long as you do not forgive those who hurt you or harm you, you will always have potatoes in the sack. And so it is with my potato. And if any of you are in any kind of a doubt about the impact that unforgiveness, not forgiving, might be having upon you, try walking around for an afternoon with a cut potato in your hand, and you will soon start to appreciate exactly what you're doing to yourself and what you're doing in your workplace.